As resellers, we all have items that have just been sitting there way too long. You know, the ones you pass when you're looking for something else in your inventory or you're sharing your closet and you're like, you're still here? Today I want to share 5 tips for what to do with those items that just won't sell. My name is Ashley and I'm a reseller based in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Maybe you made a bad buy. Maybe you purchased an item and got it home only to realize that it had a flaw. Or you got a liquidation box or a mystery box with items that you didn't choose. Or maybe a family member or friend gave you some stuff. Whatever happened, it's totally normal to have pieces in your Poshmark closet that just aren't selling. To get a clear picture of what you're dealing with, it's time to come face to face with your inventory. For this purpose, it's really helpful to go into Poshmark and download your inventory report. In the app, you're gonna go to My Seller Tools, My Inventory Report, and email the report. On desktop, you can go to My Sales or Order Activity and you'll see the inventory report on the left. Once you get the email, you can download it, and at that point, I like to copy the sheet and paste it into Google Sheets, then I have access to it in my drive. Have a look and see what's been listed the longest. When I download the report, I like to tackle a bunch of items at once because it's an easy groove to get into once you've got that report. Now that you know what you're dealing with, here are 5 tips to get those items sold or at least get some value from them. Tip number 1 is to run a sale of some kind, and there's lots of different ways that you can do this. If the item has folks who've liked it, you can use offer to liker or closet clear out to lower the price and hopefully entice someone to purchase it. With Poshmark's new bulk features, it's really easy to do mass offers to likers or closet clear out on those items that you've identified in your inventory report, rather than going one by one. And you can also use the new My Shoppers feature to message buyers. Even if you have your own spreadsheet, the reason I like to pull it from Poshmark is because in addition to showing you how many days an item has been listed for, it also shows you the lowest price you've had the item at. And that can be helpful in determining your strategy for offers to likers or closet clear out. When you're doing this, if it makes sense for your bottom line, you can offer deeper discounts like 30, 40, or 50%. You'll want to take your cost of goods into account, but offering some kind of deal can be a great way to get those stale items moving. Tip number 2 is to relist those items. Relisting items on Poshmark can be a great way to get some new eyeballs on them. Lots of people who search for stuff on Poshmark filter by just in, and if a listing is more than 60 days old, if you relist it, you can get it into that just in category. You can relist an item on Poshmark super easily by going to edit and then scrolling down to the bottom and copying the listing. That'll make a new copy of your item. You want to make sure that you remove the word copy from the beginning of your title. When you're relisting, I really recommend having a look at your listings to see if there's any way that you can improve them. Take a look at the title, the photos, the description, the tags, and see if there's any way that you can enhance that listing. Poshmark recently updated the number of characters you can have in your titles, and so when you're relisting items, this can be a great way to add new life to the title by adding more descriptive words. The formula I like to think about with titles on Poshmark is brand plus color plus item name plus description plus size. Think about the words a buyer might use when they're searching for an item and be sure that those words are included in your title and your description. Be honest with yourself about the photos. Could they be better? If they could be, take some new ones and have a look at the description to see if there's any other details or measurements or keywords that you can include. If the item has any comments with questions, be sure to include the answers to those questions in the description as well. I've recently been relisting items and sprucing up photos, adding better descriptions, and including measurements when the listing didn't have them. Once you go through and edit those copied listings, be sure to delete the old listing and publish the new one. One thing I think that people get worried about when it comes to relisting is losing the likes an item might have had. I saw someone say this on Instagram recently, but likers like and buyers buy. There's absolutely a possibility that someone might come back and purchase something that's been sitting in their likes for a while, but if they didn't purchase it when you tried lowering the price or doing an offer to liker and it's been sitting there for months and months, they're probably not going to buy it. And if it is something that they're looking to buy in the future and they're looking for it again, they can always come back and find that relisted listing. I mentioned in a video recently that I've been trying to get more regular with relisting, and so I've been going into my inventory report, targeting some listings, and doing these steps. I've been focusing on items that are in season right now, like sweaters and jeans, and I also finally relisted a Betsy Johnson dress that was probably one of my first listings on Poshmark, took some better photos, added some measurements, and maybe now it will sell. Tip number 3 is to cross-list the items to another platform. This can be another way to get more eyes on your items. I've been doing this recently with eBay and it's been working. In Canada, we don't have a ton of options for cross-listing software, so I've just been doing it manually on my own. In the US, lots of folks use things things like Vendu or List Perfectly to help them cross-list. There's so many platforms out there with different buyers, and so by cross-listing, you increase the possibility that someone is going to see the item and want to purchase it. This tip might require you to step outside your comfort zone, but I highly recommend you try it and see what happens. Tip number 4 is to get someone else to sell it. This might mean taking items to a buy-sell trade store or sending items to a place like ThredUp in the US or Coop in Canada. To be honest, I don't do this a ton and I haven't tried Coop yet, but I have heard some people talking about it. So if you've tried it, let me know how it's gone for you. I actually started thinking about this video a couple of months ago and decided to take a bunch of older items to a local buy-sell trade store. I downloaded my inventory report, pulled a bunch of items, got them into bags, and took them to the buy-sell trade store on public transit, and they ended up buying 3. It wasn't the outcome I was hoping for, as I definitely wanted them to take some more items, but 3 is better than nothing. I decided to take store credit, and I will use that credit in the future to purchase items for my closet or maybe for myself. We'll see. One of the 3 items I'd purchased a while ago for my closet and I'd relisted a couple times and it hadn't sold. It was a Wilfred Aritzia sweater. And the other 2 items were things I had received in a liquidation box that I got last year, and so that was good because I hadn't chose those items, they hadn't sold, so it was great to get some store credit for them. With buy-sell trade stores, get to know what they're looking for. Often it's trendier pieces, so maybe not your stale inventory, but you never know. If you take an item to a buy-sell trade store or send it to a place like ThredUp or Coop, you're not going to get the full value you hoped for it, but at least you'll get something for it. It'll be moved out of your inventory and you'll be able to take the value you receive for it and purchase new inventory and hopefully get something that'll sell faster. Tip number 5 would be to donate it. This is hopefully a last resort, but it can be the right move for an item, especially if it's been sitting there for a really long time and you're looking to make space in your inventory. As resellers, we help to keep clothes out of landfills and hopefully into the hands of new buyers who will use the item and love it. But sometimes that isn't always possible. Many thrift stores will give you a coupon or some kind of incentive if you do donate items, and so that can be beneficial for your business as well. Other things you could do with stale items include bundling them together. You could upcycle them in some way, you could give them away, or maybe you could use them yourself. What is your strategy when it comes to items that just won't sell? Let us know down in the comments. I've been doing a bunch of these things recently with some good success. A bunch of my sales this month and last month were relisted items, so I'm really trying to get into the habit of downloading that inventory report at the beginning of the month, figuring out which items I'm going to tackle, and relisting them. Hopefully these tips will help you give new life to older inventory. If you're a Poshmark seller who is thinking about trying out eBay, check out this video where I talk about getting over my fear of eBay, starting to list on that platform, and making sales. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a like, and if you're not already subscribed, now would be an awesome time to do so. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye, friends!